Okay. Okay. Let me just so we've heard a lot about data analysis, data analysis. So, and by the introduction, someone said she is more of a writer. She just want to learn something and she picked data analysis. So let me just introduce what data analysis is before we don't dive deep into data analysis. Data analysis is it deals with number, but what we say, we use past events to determine what will happen in the future or to make an informed decision. So let's say something happened in the past. We are working in the superstore, right? The first 3 months, in my superstore, let's say pharmacy store, the first 3 months, that's maybe raining season, and malaria is quite common in the rainy season. So a lot of people, you as a pharmacy owner, you want to stock up more anti-malarials in your pharmacy shelves because malaria will be rampant. The number of malaria cases will go up during this certain period of time. So June to July, it will be maybe Qatar, maybe anything. So you want to use those information from the past. So you just say some people, while even let's say I'm in Lagos, I stock more of anti-malaria because that's the most selling product in my pharmacy. And that another person who owns a pharmacy also in Kogi, my my stock up more anti-diabetic because that's the most moving drug in his or her company. So how do you know this? The person in Lagos already know from the past data that okay, this is what is moving, and to continue to have more profit, this is what I'm supposed to stock in. This is what I'm supposed to have in excess in my pharmacy store. So for people in Kogi have different opinion because from the past events or from the past data, this is what has been happening, and this is how I should get more income. So basically, data analysis is just using the past events. We call it data, using the past data to make informed decision about today. So that's what we call data analysis. So in case you are done with your data analysis, let me be quite frank with you. We are given just 1 month to teach um, data analysis, and data analysis don't expect to know deep learning or you have deep understanding about analytics in just 4 months. But I, as a person with over 3 years in teaching, 3 years experience in teaching, I will try to break it down as fast as possible, as much as possible. But I will try to go as fast as possible also. Um, so we just need to catch up, try to be in all classes. There will be assignment after every class. Just try to persevere till the last moment because it won't be easy. I'll rush. Sometimes you can just use my DM, and you can also see that I'm recording. So whenever you don't understand, try to rewatch the lesson so we can be at the same page in the next class. So now let me introduce you to the tools we'll be using. We'll be using Excel as I have an Excel here. I have some Excel worksheets because I'm working with computer here. Okay. You can interrupt me. Can you hear me? Hello, you can interrupt me. Who is there? Okay, I guess that was a mistake. Um, okay. We have Excel. We'll be working with Excel. We'll be doing some data cleaning, data wrangling, and data visualization using Excel. Then we also have SQL here. Sorry, let me just type it here then. We have SQL. What's happening?
Excuse me, but I can't hear you.
Okay. Anyway, We have SQL here, Microsoft MySQL Workbench. We have MySQL there. Then we have Power BI, which is currently not on my system. But um, before we start Power BI, I will try to install it. So those are the three tools we'll be looking at in our in this cohort. So before then, another thing I want us to do is that everyone on this call after tonight's session, the first thing you will do is to activate your LinkedIn. So one thing about okay, I don't have much background. So one thing about data analysis or tech skill as a whole is you have to build in public. Let's say you are someone that wants to work as a side gig or you just want to learn it for fun. You want to document your progress also. So you want to the first thing you want to open or you want to optimize your LinkedIn page. So after every lesson, try to post whatever you're learning. Oh, today I learned about data entry, and you have to tell the general public about what you learned. And so even if you are not, if you don't want potential clients to notice you, you can also document it for your growth. So in 2, 3 years, you can see how far you've come. And that's one thing about building in public. Um, it's very, very good because it cannot even be overemphasized because I got my first job using by building in public. So well, that's a story for another day. Another thing you want to open will be medium.com. So I know a lot of us are writer, and the person that said she was a writer should be, or she is a writer should be aware of what we call medium.com. So you want to open medium.com. So when you open, you can just, it's very easy, get started, then okay. Okay, they can still see my screen now. Can you guys still see my screen? Hello, can you? Okay. So you just want to go on your Medium, then go get started, then normal thing. Just want to sign in with your Google and stuff. So over the time, I will tell you how to post on LinkedIn and how to make a documentary on LinkedIn. Sorry, on Medium. Okay, let's just jump to today's classroom because we really don't have enough time. So the first thing we want to do will be Excel. So now allow me to save this so I can cancel it. Okay, I'm opening it down. Um, okay. Mhm. Mhm. Right. Okay, so my Excel is here. You need something. Hmm? So I can see my Excel here. So when I launch Excel, so welcome to Excel. I guess it should be something that will be in everyone's laptop. You can just search as Excel using your Windows search bar here. So the first thing you will see something like this because I have quite a number of things I'm doing. So when you open your own, you might not have anything here because you are not working with any data sets. So the first thing you want to do is blank book. But sometimes you might see some modified books here, but you actually don't need to use the customize session because we are focusing on the blank workbook now. So let's just click on workbook. So what I open currently now is what we call workbook. We call it Excel workbook. So this is Excel workbook. So now what I've opened here is what we call Excel worksheets. Sorry, let me try to do it very well. Because I already modified it yesterday. So when you open Excel, this is what you are supposed to see, right? Um, okay. This is what you are supposed to see. This is what we call worksheets. So what I opened is Excel workbook. Inside workbook, we have worksheets. Inside that worksheet, we don't have only one worksheet, but we have a plus sign. If you look at this, at the bottom, you can see we have a plus sign. We can create by clicking this plus sign, we can create more worksheets. So we can create up to 255 worksheets by using this plus sign. So when you open one Excel workbook, you can create almost 255 worksheets. So you should not confuse workbook and worksheet together. They are different. So you can see I have my green or highlighted box here. These boxes are what we call cell. SCELL. That's what we call cell. So when I highlight a group of cells, you want to ask a question? Amatola?
Yeah, I wasn't seeing your screen before, but I can see it now.
Oh, how are days? Okay, please can other people confirm if you can see my screen? Oh, okay. I guess it's from your end, Motala. So when I highlight a group of cells, we call it group of cells because yeah, I've just highlighted a group of cells. So now when I can click on anything, now notice something. When I click on this cell, I can see something like ready. I'm sorry, let me try to do it very well. So when I click on something, I can click if I click on any cell, I should see ready. Where is it? Okay, I can see my red here, but when I try to click on it, you can see something that has changed to enter. That is okay. This particular cell is actually is ready to your data is ready to be entered into this particular cell. So we have something we call Excel intelligence. We are not trying to go there now. So we also have some numbers here, and we have some alphabets here. So we all know from the start that this is what we call columns, right? We have column A, we have column B, we have column C, right? We also have row one, row two, we have row three. So now let's say I place my cursor here. So I can see I'm under row column A1 row, sorry, column A row one, right? So if I place my cursor here, I can see this column B row three. There will be the color wherever you highlight or wherever you click, the color of this particular column number color. So if you look at this B, so if I just click on random place here, I can see it's column J immediately. Now let's look at something. If you look at this top left hand corner, we can see something like J16, right? So when you look at J16, what does J16 imply? Then row 16. If you click on this one, it has changed to column A, row 1. If you click on this one, it has changed to column C, row 6. So this is what we call name box. So the first thing you want to know is, okay, you know this worksheet, this is how to create different worksheets, and this is the name box. So we can also see something with FX. From the word Excel, you already know that this is your formula bar. That is anything you want to enter in this cell, you can actually enter it here. So if I should try to type sheet to here, so you can see when I'm typing using the formula bar, I can also see it inside my cell. So let's say I type something using my own cell now. Let's say I typed dummy. I can also see dummy in my sorry, let me click on it. I can see it in my formula bar, and I can edit it by writing Damilola using my formula bar. So we write a lot of statistic or a lot of formula using our formula bar, which we'll be talking about further in other classes. So we can also see something here. We have something we call menu. We have our file. We have home menu, insert menu, and we have page layouts, formulas, our data. We have review, view, help. We have quite a lot, a number of menu. So most of the thing as a data analyst or as a junior data analyst, most of the thing that we'll be using in Excel is already under our home menu. So when you click on your home menu, you can see we have quite a number of sections. You have clipboard, you have fonts, you have alignment, numbers, styles, cells, all these we have it. So we also have inserts. So from the word insert, that is something that is not initially present in Excel. You want to bring it inside. So we have something like illustration. So you want to probably create icon, or you want to bring some screenshots in your computer into Excel, and this is what we call insert. Basically, we use insert to draw all these pie charts, pie chart, all this stuff. And we also have draw. Draw, most of the time it's not exclusive to what happened. It's not exclusive to junior data analysts because most of the time we don't use it. Sorry, I don't know why this thing has got to do like this. Okay, we also have page layout here. So page layout is just about you formatting your Excel worksheets. Then we also have formulas. We have different type of formulas which we'll be using. We'll not be using everything, but we'll be using at some important. We're looking at some important formula. We also have our data. Data is quite useful when you're doing analysis. Hello, can anyone still see my screen? Oh, okay. So now
Yes.
let's move on. Okay. So, what should be the next thing? You've learned about the different section. At least you can operate Excel now. It should not be looking new to you because you already know some use function, some use cases of different things. So now, without further ado, let's just start. What's data analysis? Sorry, what are the process of data analysis? We have five process of data analysis. We have one. I'll start with getting your data, then two, it will be data cleaning. Three will be um, data analysis or analyzing your data. Four will be data visualization. While five will be reporting. So, so these are the process of data analysis. The first one is getting your data. So how do we get your data? You can either get your data from let's say I'm working from a company. Let's say I'm working with a company. So they want me to perform some analysis in their company. So I have to get data from them. Or let's say I'm a final year student. I'm trying to get data from I'm trying to interview people to get my data from them. So the first process before data analysis is me getting data from my patients, or the student, or whoever our target audience is. So that's what we call getting your data. The first process is you getting your data, then you have to load your data into Excel. So after you've loaded your data into Excel, the next thing will be data cleaning. Yeah, data can be dirty, so you have to clean it. How do we clean data? We analyze, we look at that in further classes. So we also have data analysis. Okay, you've cleaned the data is in right format. So you now want to analyze your data. You want to get decision from your data. Okay, what are the insights? What are the conclusion? What are the decision? What decision can I make? What are the inference can I make, or what are the insights in this particular data? So after you are done, you want to put them in charts, which is what we call data visualization. And when you are done with that, you want to report whatever you've done. You want to report it. Maybe you want to write it in research paper. Maybe you want to write it in your final year thesis, or maybe you just want to write it in Medium, which is the stuff I said you should create the other time. So okay, how do we now get all these things? Let's start from the getting data. So when we want to get our data, the first step in getting our data, we can get our data from companies, we can get our data from people we are interviewing, or from any other sources. Among sources, we can among um one of the source we can get our data will be manual data writing, which is what we call data entry. So I believe a lot of us who are into data analysis, we have some little experience about on data analysis. We know what we call data entry. From the word data entry is just you entering data, the act of entering data. So we can see we have sheet one here. So you can actually name this sheet according to your taste. Probably, maybe this one is just into this particular worksheet. This actually just the intro. So you can just double click, right? Or you can just right click. You can see something like rename. So you can double click on this sheet one and just type it. Let's say I want to name this one into the worksheet into, or you want to name it whatever. So we also have our sheet two here. So now let's say I want to teach data entry here. So you can just right click on sheet two, then click on the name, then we have our data entry. So now let's talk about data entry here. Yeah, I believe we're all on the same page.
Please, I have a
Sorry,
question.
can I get something? Okay.
You said reporting that you could do it using a medium that you asked us to create the other time. Please, what was that? You said something
Okay.
like you asked us to create something. Maybe my network wasn't good because I didn't hear that.
Okay, we can see I said when you go to medium.com, you should create an account. The first thing I said was when you, as a data analyst, you need to put yourself out there. I'll just put this in quotes. Let's say sell yourself. So you want to document your progress, whatever you learn in class, probably today, you can just put it on LinkedIn. I've started learning about data analysis, PSAP. Then if you, I can type my full name or send you my LinkedIn link. So you can just tag me in any of your posts. Then I will repost it for wider link, for wider reach. So potential clients might be seeing you, who knows? Or you can just document it for personal growth in case you want to look at your progress in the next 1 2 years. Then you're like, okay, this is where I've started and stuff like that. So this medium basically is what we used for documenting. When you are done reporting or whatever, you want to document it to shareholder or to the stakeholder, and this is medium.com. So you can just click on get started and do your stuff, how you do log into Instagram and stuff like that is quite easy. So I guess you understand.
Yes, I do. Thank you very much.
Okay, so where is the question? Okay, in the absence of no question, so we'll just move on. So the next thing I want to do now will be um okay, data entry. So now we have different type of data. So we have let me say we have text. Okay, we have text data type, types of data type. So we have numeric data type and we have text data type. So from the word text, you all know that that will contain alphabet and stuff like that. So I really want to clean this, but let me just tell you that the types of data type are not exclusive to text and numeric. We also have what we call alpha numeric. So um I would like to delete this because I actually want to say something. So, but we should know that we have text numeric and alphanumeric. So we also have special characters. Let me just write it. We have special characters and we have dates. There is data type. So I guess you can all just know these five of them. So we have text numeric, we have numeric, we have alphanumeric, special characters, and we also have dates. So yeah, we should just put that at the back of our mind. Or let me just hide this particular row. So to hide a row, you just want to click on the column header. So when you click on the column header, you can see the shape of my cursor now. It look like a fat cross But when you over your mouse to the column header, you can on the column header you can see it change down. It changes to downward arrow. So you can want to right click on that and you can see something like hide. So when you hide, you can see after A you will be seeing C. So that will be the next thing. Okay. Why not hiding? Oh, why is my computer doing like this? Okay, just give it a minute. Don't know why. So we can actually see something like we can actually see something like A and C because we've hid column B. So now let's say we are typing something like sheet 1. Then we also have 1000. Let me just say 1001. So I'm using my computer date, which is 24th of October 2025. So that's 10/24/2025. Then let's say something like what else can I type? Let me just type something like A001, something like ID. Then let's just use some special characters, maybe like star 303 hash. I'm sorry. How do you press hash again? Okay. So now, what are the difference between all these things I've written? So now let me just expand the column. So how do I expand the column? Look at my cursor now. It look like a fat course, but once I over my cursor to the on the column header, I can see now it changes to downwards arrow. But when I move it to double edge cursor. So now once it has changed to double edge arrow, you can increase it. You have to hold your left click and drag it. So you can see the width is actually increasing. Now let's say I increase the width now. So now who can tell me the visible or the obvious difference between this? Can anyone say it? What do you notice visibly? What are the difference that you notice? Oh yeah, I will call names. So oh yeah, Motola, what do you notice?
Okay, some characters, the ones that contain the numbers, the numeric characters, moved with the shift, the change in the width of the colon, while the ones no, that's wrong. Some characters shall moved with the change in the width, like some moved to the left and some remain at the right. Abby? Yes.
So
No,
yeah,
some stayed at
that's
the left and the others moved to the right. Like there was a change, there was a shift of some characters from where they were before to the right? I don't know, I'm not sure.
okay. Yeah. You get an angle of it, but you are not totally correct. But that's actually true. So remember, the first time I said types of data type, I limited it to text and data type and numeric because those are the two major things. So now we have text data type. Whenever we have text data type, it will be aligned to the left. We can see we have some numbers are aligned to the left, or some characters or some words are aligned to the left, while some are aligned to the right. Whenever we have something that's aligned to the right, we call it numeric data type. So now this is just this comprise only numbers, right? We have 10009, and it is aligned to the left. Sorry, to the right. So we also have date, which contains only number, so it is aligned to the right also. So we have sheet 2. Sheet 2 is made up of alphabets, obviously that's the text. So we have A001. In as much we have A here, this is numeric, 001 is numeric. This is alphabet. This is A. So that's why we call this one alphanumeric. So when you have something like A001, we call it alphanumeric, and you can see it is actually aligning to the left. So we classify this under text data type. We also have something like star 00303 hash. We can see this 3003 is text data type, but we have star and hash, which is what we refer to as special character. So anytime you have special characters, you have alphanumeric, or we have text, we classify everything as text data type. And whenever we have something like numbers, we have dates, we classify everything as numeric data type. And anything we've classified as numeric data type will be aligned to the right. Anything that we classify as text data type will be aligned to the left. Do you understand? So that's basically why we have a shift in this particular thing. So that's number one. So we should have to know that, okay, why do we now refer dates as numeric? So dates, let's say we have something like 0, and we have something like 1, right? So now, if for it is number that we perform arithmetic operation on, right? So now let's just say, before you can do any arithmetic operation, you should know this at the back of your mind. You have to start with equals to. So you want to click on this. I want to click on this cell representing 0, right? So I want to do something like plus. So that is, this F9 means, what is F9? That's column F row 9, Abby. So plus, let's say plus 1, obviously, right? So then let's say this one, because I want to start an arithmetic operation, you have to start with equals to, you want to do this one plus, let's say 1, then you can actually see it is 2. So that's basically arithmetic operation. Now this one, you can see under my home tab, I have something like numbers. I have a drop down here, which is general. So I want to click on this drop down, then I have various option here. So I want to go with time. I'm sorry, was it time? I was supposed to go with date. So I can see something like 010 1900. So now I want to change 1. So I want to go to that same drop down under my home menu. Sorry, under my home tab. Then I can see something like numbers under my number section. Then I can see a drop down here, which I want to click on short date. Then I can see it changes to 1900, and that is, we changed 1 into this particular date. So now you ask me, how are we changing numbers into dates? 0, we change 0 into this 1900, and in the history of dates, there is no way we can have 0. So let's just delete that one because it's not looking fine. So 1, we have 1900. So 1, like number 1, represents the first date, and the first date in Excel, that is what is pre-registered in Excel, is what is it's starting from 1900. That's like 125 years ago. So any number, when you start 1, you're expecting it to be 1st of January 1900. So today's date now, this number now, if I should just click on this particular cell, I can change it to normal number using that drop down. So I want to change it to general. So I can see this 45,954. So that means 45,954 days after 1900, because the first number starts counting from 1st of January 1900. Do you understand? Or can I go over that one again? Oh, okay, we do understand. Great. So now we have 45,954. But now, not everybody can see if it is 45,954. So under that same section, under that same number section, you can see we have different various options here. So you can actually just add your comma, and you can see we have 45,954 glaring. So we have another function here. We have these 2 arrows here. So when you over your arrow, or you over your cursor on these tools or on this button, you can see when we over it here, increase decimal. I don't want to increase the decimal number, but I want to decrease it. So we can also have decrease decimal here. You just want to click on this button once, so then we have formatted this one. And that's what we call data can be dirty. This particular data in this cell is dirty because it is not readable. I don't know if this is 10,009 or if this is 100,009. Stuff like that. But this one, I can easily see 45,954 because it is already demarcated with comma, right? So to actually clean this one, you just want to click on this cell, add your comma, because there is decimal number, you want to decrease the decimal number, and then you have it. You have 10,009. So that's how to subtly clean your data set. Okay, what else? So now let's move at the speed of light. So we've introduced us to data entry and how to use stuff. So the next thing will be sorry, I'm trying to look at another thing. I'm trying to not to rush too much so we will get it. Okay, let me just load the data sets. There's really no time. So now, when you load a data set like this, the first thing you want to do is you want to understand what your data set is talking about. So basically, this is the real data set. So now let's claim this particular data set. So when I are not supposed to work with this much data at the first instance, but you know that we are working with a limited time frame, and that's why I'm trying to go from beginning to complex level. But you still understand, I will try to break it down as fast as much as possible. So we have stuff like this. So please confirm if you can still hear me and you are with me, so I can just move on. Okay, I guess people are still with me. So when you load data sets into your computer, the first thing you want to see is some numbers are with hash, some number are with hash, some number you can't just understand the thing. So the first thing is you want to look at the title Nigerian EHR interoperability. Okay, I will not be discussing about this. Okay, why? That was the data. I actually uploaded this particular because I was doing data analysis tutorial one day like that. Then I used that data set. It contains some personal information and YouTube flagged my video. So now let me use another video. Sorry, let me use another data set. I forgot. Hopefully they did not flag this one. Um, okay, let me use this one. Okay, same thing. So whenever you have something like hash, you can see to see this thing, you just need to expand. You can see my cursor now. It looks like a fat course, but when I hover it over the borderline here, I can just expand it. Then I can actually see something that the thing that's there that are there. So if you are not doing like that, you can see something. There is a space, or there is like a down row, an arrow. Sorry, tilted to the right, looking like it's facing the right part, the downwards part. How do I explain this? Yeah, you can see my cursor here. You can just click on this. When you click on that button, this particular button, it will highlight all these cells. So when you highlight all these cells, you can just click on any borderline. So if I double click on any borderline, one, two, so everything we format out. I can see everything inside each column, which is what you want to do as a professional. You don't want to expand each column one by one. So you can just click on that button, double click on any borderline. So now let me just do that again. So let's say I want to double click on this column. You can see my cursor has changed to double edge arrow. One, two. I can see everything in my column very clearly. So yeah, that's how to see your data. The first thing is, okay, all my data looks clean, and yeah, I want to do some data formatting. So now these let's understand this data set. This is an unemployment data set, right? So we want to do some analysis, or let's say the next thing we want to do some data cleaning. So we can see under our home tab, you don't want to go to your tab under the first home tab. The second thing is we want to go into our data tab. So I said earlier that most of the thing that we'll be using is under our home tab, but yes, I've taught us most of this thing, and we'll be teaching. I will be also be explaining some of them when we are doing guided projects. So the next thing is, if you want to do data cleaning, you have to go to your data tab. So we can have different. Let me just explain this in case I don't have time to explain it again. We only just have 2 weeks, or we only have 4 weeks for all the data and for all the program, which is quite data. Yeah. So when we have data, you can see something like get and transfer data. So you can actually get a lot of data. That is, you can see, because this data was located in my computer before, and that's why I can easily get it from I can easily load it directly from my computer. Imagine if it is not from my computer, let's say it is from web, I can get my data from web, or if it is a CXV or a text file, you can actually load it using this particular data. We'll be using something like this during the course, hopefully. Then we have our stuff like this. So the next thing I want to teach us about is we call something text to column. So we can see something like this timestamp now. So when we say text to column, let's say in this particular thing, I can see my dates and I have my time. But in this particular case, I want to use my time and I want to use my dates. So I want them to be in separate column. So how do you want to do this? So the first thing is you want to highlight the if I highlight the column header, that means I'm highlighting everything, all the rows you can see. I'm highlighting all the rows by just clicking on the column header. But because I don't want to split this timestamp, I want to start my splitting from this place. I want to start my splitting from column row 2 or cell 2, cell A2. So you want to press Control Shift. Control means okay. I don't know, but Control Shift downward arrow. That is, highlight everything from this cell downward to the last value there. Control Shift downward. I can see everything has been highlighted. So you want to click on your text to column. Do you need anything? Eh? So you want to click on your text to column. So we can see something like convert text to column. So we have our delimited, we have fixed width. So what are you trying to do? How are you trying to separate this particular column? That's what it is virtually asking. So I want to separate this particular column using a delimiter. What are delimiters? Delimiter are characters such as comma, such as space, such as columns, stuff like that. So what are fixed with? Let's say January now. You know the months now. Let's say you want to separate month, January, February, March, April. You want to separate them using the first 3 letters. So there is nothing differentiating the first word and the second word, and that's what we call fixed width. But because in this case you want to use the delimited, you just want to click on your delimited, then you click on next. So what is separating the first value and the second value? Obviously it is space, so you want to click on your space. So you can see already it has already splitted them out. You can see we have the first column here, we have the second column here, we have the third column here. So you want to click on next. So it is asking you, where do you want this data set to be returned? So I want you to understand this part. So if I should click on OK, if I should click on finish, because these are what 3 columns. So the first column, that is the date, it will be here. The second column will override this column B. This particular time, it will override. Oh God, I have to charge my phone. Hold on, please give me a minute. Okay, so now let's continue. I'm sorry for that. My phone was in 1%, so I have to charge it so I will not lose my phone, because I'm actually on double screen. I'm using the computer and my phone so I can track all everyone's reaction. So yeah, I can see we have 3 columns here. So if I should load it, if I should just click on finish now, the first column, it will return in this column A. This second column, that is this time, it will override this name, which is not the case, which is not something I want. and this particular general, it will override this age. So if I should click on finish, I will return this one. So if I should click on finish, then it is asking me that there is already data here, because obviously there are data here. So if I just click on OK, so I can see my name has been overwritten by time, and AM PM has been overwritten by, or you call it, by meridian. So because this is not the case, this is not what I want, I want to do Ctrl Z. So let's go back. So under my data tab, I can see something like text to column, delimited, next, space, next. What's my destination in this case? I want to click on this one. What do I click on? So I just click on this arrow. So I want to click on empty space here. So we can just click on this. Then we can click on finish. So, when you see something like this, you should not be scared. You just need to increase your borderline, then you can actually see everything. So I can see my dates here. I can see my dates, I can see my time, then I can see my meridian here. Everything is perfect. So yeah, that's how to clean. And basically I've just cleaned something like that. Well, I did a mistake. I was actually supposed to paste it here, but instead of me to write the column names here, I pasted it in row one, which I was supposed to paste it in row two. But you can correct that when you're working on your own data set, on your own. So now let's just make some decision also. So now I've cleaned this one. From this one, I've cleaned it to look like this. So different case here. So because we have pretty clean data set here. So now let me just introduce you to some things. What else can I introduce you to? So okay. So now let's do something. We call it analysis. I'm sorry, I just have to be rushed because there are a lot of to talk about. So you have, when you click on your insert tab, you can see something like pivot table. So when you are watching this thing and you get too much for you, just know that you can always come to my DM. So pivot table is what we use for our data analysis. Remember, the first thing we did is we get our data, which is getting data from the source. The next thing we did is we did some a little bit of data gambling, or we call it data cleaning. Then the next thing is I want to do analysis. Then how do you do your analysis? Under this insert tab, you want to click on your pivot table. It's asking you from where do you want to base your pivot table on. I want to base my pivot table on table. What's table? This is a table. This is a range. This particular data set is what we call table. So yes, it is now asking what's the Nigerian unemployment data set, yes, from A1 to 5,001. If you notice, this thing is actually 5,001 rows. So we can see everything has been highlighted. So you just want to click on, you can see we have new worksheets. Yes, new worksheets. Create a new worksheet. Let's create another new worksheet here. So you can easily rename this one to analysis. Let's say you are doing analysis here. So there we have it. So now you want to click on this your pivot table. We can see whenever I click out of the pivot table, I can see my the field chart here. So if I just click on pivot table, I can see my field chart here. So you can do some random analysis here. So now let's just say which gender is most common. So you want to click on your gender. Once you click on your gender, this is a categorical data type. That is, this is text, is not number. That's the best way I can break it down. So how many females do we have that are unemployed? Because this is unemployed data set. That is, every information that is here is about unemployed people. Okay, how many females are unemployed? How many males are unemployed? So the first thing is you want to carry them, you want to drag this particular gender, that is, count the number of genders. You want to drag it inside the value. What will value give you? Numbers. That is, it will now count, it will put a number to females. We have 2,489 females. We have 2,511 male. So the value, it is giving you count of gender, obviously. So in case you don't want counts, you can go to value field setting. What do you want? Do you want the marks? Do you want sum? But in this case, we are just counting. We'll be making use of others in other cases, but I just want to show you how to do it. So now we can actually see we have our gender, which is 2,481. So this is what we call pivot table. We've make a decision because obviously from this case, from this looking at this data, you can't tell how many male do we have. You can't easily tell. You can just say, okay, probably we have like 10 males, 50 males, but this is 5,000 people. We don't know how many females by just looking at it, but with the use of pivot table, we've summarized it and we can see we have um more males than female in this particular data set. So now let's just Control C. So if I Control C and I Control V, it's just that's what we call pasting, Abby. So now let's just say this one basically is the same thing. So you just want to click on your value field setting as I've said earlier. So instead of counting, I want to show value as. So sorry, I want to make it percentage. So let's say percentage of grand total. Okay, so now I can see we have 49.78 females and 50.22 males. So now let's say I'm a governor. I'm trying to release a special age for a particular gender. Let's say, okay, because more males are unemployed, um let's employ more males or something like that. But in this case, because we have almost balanced unemployed people, because you can run both of them to 50-50%. But let's say in case where female is 10% and male is 90%. So in that case, you want to make a decision that okay, we should create more male-oriented job because more males are unemployed. I'm just saying this like this, or don't take me as misogynist or something. I'm not involved in any of that. So this is just class, I beg. So we have 50.22% and stuff like that. So that's how to make decision. So you can just click on this one again, Control C, then Control V. So we have different state of origin. You want to know, okay, which states of origin has the most unemployed people? So you can just click on states, then I have all my states here. So you can just drag this one. Okay, now let's say I want to get numbers of Abuja, I want to get numbers of Anambra. Where do you think I will drag this state of origin to in this particular thing that will give me numbers? Who can unmute their mic and tell me? Anyone, I'm open to. I'm looking for correction. I'm looking for someone to answer me. Okay, I'll call names. Bukolami, can you give her that? Bukolami, are you with me? Don't worry, you can miss it. You can be wrong. It's quite fine.
Sir,
Can
please
you unmute your
can
mic?
you repeat your question?
Oh, okay. So I said, I want to know how many people are unemployed in Abuja. How many people are unemployed in Anambra? So now I've clicked on the state of origin and it has went to rows. But I want to get the numbers. How can I get the numbers of people in Abuja?
Wait, please, no,
Um,
sorry, please again. The last what you said, I didn't get it.
like how can I get the number of unemployed people in Abuja? How can I get the number of unemployed people in Anambra? Like that, like that, like that, like that.
Wait, please, are you still talking to me?
The question is actually for you. Anyway, who can help out? Adekunle, are you there? Adekunle.
Yes. Good evening.
So what do you think? Good evening. What do you think?
Um, I think that you should drag the state of origin into um to what to values
Okay, let's
as
try
you did
that.
earlier.
So if I should drag it to values, then I can have my number. So thank you so much. So basically, that's what I was trying to ask you, Bukolami. I think she left already. Okay, so now I can see I have state of origin that have the most unemployed people. So you just right click on this number. So when you right click, you can see something like sorts. I don't want it to look like magic. So when you right click on something like this, you can see sorts. So you want to click on sorts from largest to smallest. So now I can actually see that Enugu, Imo, Borno, Katsina, Benue, Rivers, Port Harcourt. So from this top 10, I can conclude that the most unemployed state of origin are those in are those at the eastern and the northern parts, because you have Enugu, Imo, Borno, Katsina, Benue, Rivers, Kano, Kaduna, Cross River. We just say the eastern part of Nigeria and the northern part of Nigeria. So that's how to make decision. So now let's say as a governor or as the president, I want to create a job or stuff like that. I can just say, okay, because these are the most people in need, let's create more job in this particular region. And that's how to make decision. That analysis is not just it's not for fun and stuff like that. So it's not just you playing with numbers, it's for you to make decision. And that's how we make decision. We've seen this particular stuff, and we have it. Okay, so um let's go again. We can just highlight this particular cell. Oh my goodness. Someone said she can't hear me. Can anyone hear me? And please, can you unmute your mic so I will know I'm not the one at fault. And some
I can hear you though.
I think it's your can you where is that there? Volgan. I think it's your network. So let's do Control C again. So let's do Control V. So let's say you want to know how many people. I mean, this one. Okay, someone want to ask a question. You want to ask a question? Okay. Now let's just say how many people are looking for job. So now let's just say we want to use their education level. So we have OND, then you want to count it. So you just drag it to the values and we can see it here. So let's say we want to sort it. You have to right click on the values, then click on sort from the largest to the smallest. Then you can see people with secondary education are the most unemployed people, while the least people are people with PhD. So yeah, that's how to make decision using data analysis. I actually don't want to infuse us with a lot of knowledge, but this is where I'll be stopping tonight. So I want to engage everyone. In any part where I've rushed to where you don't understand, please can you draw me back so I can explain it before 9:30? Okay, I think for the corners because it is a literally small class, so yeah, it is easy for me. It is easier for me to come. So please, can you unmute your mic? Okay, how do you convert to percentage? Okay, great. Now let's say I want to convert this particular cell to percentage. You have to click on these numbers because I want to highlight these numbers. So you can see instead of count, there is a drop down here. Right? Can you see it? Please reply with an emoji if you can see that drop down. Okay. So you want to click on this drop down. You can see something like value field setting. So you click on the valid field. You can see something like show value as. So you want to, instead of no calculation, you are changing it to grand total. Then okay, then everything is arranged in their particular percentage. So that's how I converted it to percentage data. Okay, so let me engage everyone before we call it a day. Adekunle, please, can you mute your mic? Please tell me anything you've learned.
I've learned about steps involved in data analysis and the types of data that we use in as well as how to acquire. Well, that's part of the steps, anyways. But how to acquire, and the tools in Excel that we use to analyze data. That's
Oh,
all.
okay. So, Amotola, can you hear me? Please unmute your mic. What do you think you learned today?
Okay, so what I have learned, you introduced us to Excel, teaching us the various fields, the processes of data analysis, and which involve like getting data, cleaning, analyzing, visualizing, and reporting. Then different data types, the text, and the changes that occur when we, when you use that expansion of a colon. Then I also learned how to use some shortcuts where you use like control shift then downwards. Then this pivot table, to be very honest, I wasn't following at the beginning. So like how you started, how you involved, how you started using the pivot table initially wasn't really clicking, but I just had to follow through. Or like I get the remaining aspect to where you are trying to where you're trying to organize the data, but how you started it, how you introduced it, I didn't get it. So, but like how to organize, how to convert to percentages, all those ones that were well understood. So that's it. That's
That's it for you. That's great.
yep.
Okay. So, sorry, I'm trying to look for names. Emmanuel, can you unmute your mic now?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. So, well, I learned how to edit, like how to clean a row. Is that right?
Yeah, I can hear you. Just
Yeah, I said I learned how to clean files, how to convert to percentage, how to find the total number of maybe unemployed people in a state. Yeah, how to edit sheets 1 and 2.
okay. That's beautiful. I know you have quite a lot of things you learned. So, maybe you can just put a number on it. So, what else? Let me ask you, Bukolami. I think I've asked her. Have I asked you, Bukolami?
No, you have not.
Oh, okay. So can I hear from
Well, half of what you said, I didn't hear half of it, but at the beginning, you talked about processes of data analysis and then the types of data, and alphanumeric and the likes. Basically, that was all I got. The
Okay.
cleaning of data as
So
well.
because okay, let me just stop recording so people you watching will not be listening to all the extra talk. Oh, thank you so much. So let me stop recording so they will not be listening to sorry.